welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrose, as always, and this is Veterans Day weekend, or now it's coming to a close by the time this airs. And I hope that you found a way to honor veterans this weekend. Whether you yourself a veteran, go out and got yourself a nice, hefty, well-deserved free meal, or doing something else, anything else really. This weekend for me, I got to spend some time with my family. Starting with Friday, since it was the observed holiday, my daughter's elementary school had a nice presentation for the Veterans Day, which I thought was really nice. They invited any family members who were veterans to come, and they had a nice raising of the flag first thing in the morning. All the students and veterans gathered around. Then we went into the auditorium where they had a nice, I think it was like 3-minute video, informational video broken down for the age groups, which was kindergarten through 3rd grade. Just explaining, what Veterans Day is, where it came from, being from Armistice Day, and then explaining what a veteran is and who they are. So it was really nice. It was a good video. And then when the names were called, the students who had brought a veteran to school that day would then walk their veteran from the rear of the auditorium to the front and sit with them up front. It was really nice. And they even went as far as to honoring the any Boy Scout or Girl Scout as well too that was in the auditorium. They were allowed to wear their outfits, their uniforms for the day, and it was nice because they mentioned that they are learning the importance of service at their level, which was to their community, at a very young age, which is good. It's always good to see that. And I will plan on going back next year. Both of my daughters liked that I was there for that, and I was happy that I could be there for both of them. And while we're in the present day, today in fact, we're going to go back to Somalia once again, and it's actually going to be the same battle, the Battle of Mogadishu. The reason why I chose to do this one back-to-back with the other one is since they both earned their Medal of Honor together during the same battle, and I just felt it was appropriate since that one was still fresh in our head last week, going into this week. So that's what we're going to do today, and it's being brought to you, episode 45, by Sunrise Linens. They're a vintage vibe clothing business that offers quality handmade clothing right here in the U.S. of A., right next door in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I actually got two of their things for my daughters this week, a couple days ago, and I'll be taking pictures of that with the girls this week, hopefully, and posting them up. Love it, handcrafted, quality little egg. I think they're called egg collecting aprons. We'll probably use them for eggs up at my parents' house. And for vegetables here from our garden. It's a nice piece. They both definitely like it. And what I did is I went to their store at etsy.com/shop/sunriselinens. And after I picked them out, put it in the cart, went to go check out, and I put the promo code TOH25. And yes, I put in my own promo code. And it got me 25% off my order, and it can do it for you as well. So be sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram for new items. I know their winter line is starting to come out, and I'm anxiously awaiting to see what they're going to put out for this winter. Sunrise Linens for nostalgia and wandering. And now, a tale of honor. Gary Gordon was born on the 30th of August, 1960 in Lincoln, Maine. After attending and graduating from Matanawacook Academy in 1978, he enlisted in the U.S. Army and trained as a combat engineer. Once he completed Special Forces training, Gary was assigned to 2nd Battalion of the 10th Special Forces Group. In December of 1986, he was selected to join the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, or Delta Force. During the tale of Randall Shugart, I had mentioned Gary's name, and this was because they had both been part of Task Force Ranger when they were deployed to Mogadishu, Somalia. This was in the summer of 1993, and Gary was a sniper team leader during a joint force mission to capture important advisors to a Somali warlord, Mohammed Farah Aidid. During this mission, a Black Hawk helicopter had been shot down in the city, and when a second Black Hawk had responded to help rescue those teammates, it too was shot down. There were other forces already on the ground that were not able to assist with the second crash because they were engaged with Adid's militia and were on their way to the first crash site. Gary was in another helicopter along with Randy Shughart and Brad Hollings and were providing sniper cover from the air. They had insisted on being inserted near the second crash site in order to help, and after their third request, received permission to do so. Once on the ground, Gary's actions would earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, Master Sergeant Gordon, United States Army, distinguished himself by actions above and beyond the call of duty on 3 October 1993 while serving as Sniper Team Leader, United States Army Special Operations Command with Task Force Ranger in Mogadishu, Somalia. Master Sergeant Gordon's sniper team provided precision fire from the lead helicopter during an assault and at 2 helicopter crash sites, while subjected to intense automatic weapons and rocket-propelled grenade fires. When Master Sergeant Gordon learned that ground forces were not immediately available to secure the second crash site, he and another sniper unhesitatingly volunteered to be inserted to protect the 4 critically wounded personnel, despite being well aware of the growing number of enemy personnel closing in on the site. After his third request to be inserted, Master Sergeant Gordon received permission to perform his volunteer mission. When debris and enemy ground fires at the site caused them to abort the first attempt, Master Sergeant Gordon was inserted 100 meters south of the crash site. Equipped with only his sniper rifle and a pistol, Master Sergeant Gordon and his fellow sniper, while under intense small arms fire from the enemy, fought their way through a dense maze of shanties and shacks to reach the critically injured crew members. Master Sergeant Gordon immediately pulled the pilot and the other crew members from the aircraft, establishing a perimeter which placed him and his fellow sniper in the most vulnerable position. Master Sergeant Gordon used his long-range rifle and sidearm to kill an undetermined number of attackers until he depleted his ammunition. Master Sergeant Gordon then went back to the wreckage, recovering some of the crew's weapons and ammunition. Despite the fact that he was critically low in ammunition, he provided some of it to the dazed pilot and then radioed for help. Master Sergeant Gordon continued to travel the perimeter, protecting the downed crew. After his team member was fatally wounded and his own rifle ammunition exhausted, Master Sergeant Gordon returned to the wreckage, recovering a rifle with the last 5 rounds of ammunition, and gave it to the pilot with the words, "Good luck." Then, armed only with his pistol, Master Sergeant Gordon continued to fight until he was fatally wounded. His actions saved the pilot's life. In total, 50 Somalian bodies were found at the location. Master Sergeant Gordon's extraordinary heroism and devotion to duty were in keeping with the highest standards of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. There was some confusion as to who died first, Randy or Gary. The official citations state that it was Randy that died first. However, 2 accounts from Sergeant Paul Howe and Chief Warrant Officer Mike Durant say that Gary was killed first. Sadly, Gary's body had been dragged to the streets of Mogadishu, but was eventually recovered. On the 23rd of May, 1994, Gary's wife received his Medal of Honor from President Clinton in a ceremony at the White House, and like Randy, was one of the first Medal of Honor recipients since the Vietnam War. Later, in 1996, the U.S. Navy would name a roll-on, roll-off ship after Gary, the USNS Gordon. The Gordon Elementary School in Linden Oaks, North Carolina, was also named after Gary in 2009. This school is near Fort Bragg, which is where Gary was stationed prior to the Somalia deployment, and the Joint Readiness Training Center in Fort Polk, Louisiana, named its main mock city, Shughart Gordon. Gary Gordon is buried in the Lincoln Cemetery in Penobscot County, Maine. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you so much for listening to Tales of Honor podcast, and if you like this podcast, please be sure to leave a nice review, a rating, and tell a friend. You can see more information over on Facebook and Instagram and at talesofhonorpodcast.com. If you have any questions like how to be a partner or sponsor of this show, or comments like, good job, really dig it, you can send them to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrose. Thanks for listening.